we are again with lighting training part 4. In this video we're going to go a little bit away from showing things on plan. We're going to go into the data piece behind Revit. Before we were kind of showing how circuits get added and how we put fixtures on plan so that we show them properly in the grid. But Revit's a very powerful software and it has many data features that we like to use to populate our schedules and to keep ourselves organized so that we know that we're not missing anything. With that being said, we're going to look at a fixture and show how the properties within each fixture get pushed into our schedules and why we kind of do what we do. So I'm going to start by selecting the 2x2 and just show you a little bit more in depth on what that fixture has to offer. If you see over here, there is a host that tells you what you're hosted to. It also gives you your elevation if applicable, and there's an offset. This can raise or lower your fixture. It's not used too often. People typically want their lights in the ceiling and they won't typically offset their lights. There's also these check boxes in the graphics. As you check these boxes, the fixture will actually change the graphic. The reason why we do that is so that we can indicate different power sources for fixtures, whether it's on emergency power, critical power in healthcare, or anything along those lines, to kind of give the contractors a little bit better of a distinguishment on plan on which fixtures we want going where. There's also the electrical abbreviation, which we can use as a data point, so we can add things like switch legs to the plans without actually having to create a switch circuit. A little bit lower on the Properties tab, you'll see that they have electrical circuiting information. There's relay number, relay description, relay control, relay panel. These are all items that get filled out and pushed into our relay control panel schedule, which is pretty important stuff. We like to fill those out a little bit more on a granular level, and it can really help out a little bit later. So I'll just pointing out that that's where that information lies and where it gets pushed from. I'm going to go ahead and hit edit type so that you can see everything that lives within one specific type. You can see here that we call out the fixture type, which is the name that you'll see on plan. We put the voltage, we place all the characteristics. As you can see below, this information is all pushed into a schedule. You'll see that there's also a schedule sorting tab that'll come in handy a little bit later from sorting site lighting from interior lighting, or whatever type of combination you want to use for scheduling purposes. Another big piece of each fixture type is that we need to put the correct load information in it so that we can push that wattage out to our schedules for panels correctly, and so that we can get the right load information at the end of the day. If we don't have the right wattage here, we'll have troubles in the future, maintaining correct information as well as just doing correct calculations in Revit on our panel schedules. So once all the information is all filled out for one type, you can see that if I go to a sheet view, we have a B2, and all that information corresponds to what we saw in that type, which is great. We don't have to worry about writing a new schedule or thinking about it again. It's just all pushing into this schedule as we like it. If we do need to add a new type to the schedule, we simply have to place a new fixture on plan. To do that, you just select a fixture. You can hit edit type, duplicate, change the fixture name. In this case, I'll use B3 as my base number for it. Here I come into it and I call out B3 for the fixture type name, and then I could change something, let's say instead of 10% dimming, we're going to do 1% dimming on this fixture. So once we hit OK, that fixture is going to change its actual ID on plan, and then when we go back to the schedules, we'll see that there's a new line created for B3, and instead of having 10%, it'll have 1% dimming. So that's always a great function. There's a lot more to the schedule, and I'll get into that in the next video, but thanks for watching this one. Thank you.